In this video, we are going to look at stairs. Stairs generally come in two varieties. Here we have a component-based stair and we have a traditional sketched-based stair. In this video, we are going to focus on the traditional sketched-based stair. I am in a file here called Sketched Stairs for Students, and I'm in the level 2 floor plan. The user interface varies across versions after 2015. So let's see how to navigate the user interface in order to create the staircase. First we go to Architecture, then to Stairs, then click on Run. And before we start creating the staircases, we will want to pay attention to this area called Location Line, and we want to set the run to be at the center. That will allow us to create the start of the staircase this way.
This is the zone where we want to be creating the staircase. So by clicking here, essentially to create will be this one line down. Okay, if you can look at my screen here, you'll notice that as you are creating, it will seem like it is snapped to something. The line creation is no longer smooth, it's very snappy, very interval. And then also as you are moving, the Revit program will attempt to inform you certain things by telling you, hey, 11 risers were created, there are 8 remaining. So where do we find, where does this come from? Where is this intelligent build based on? Alright, it is built based on a few things here. If you now look at it, if you look under dimensions portion in the properties palette here,
please note that for the newer versions, the width of the staircase is actually placed down here, while the rest of the other dimensions of the staircase controls are still at this portion down here.
There are certain things pre-built in already, which is first of all the width, and then the number of risers, and the defined height, the riser height and the thread depth. These are some of the things in which we can make changes to. Alright, and these numbers are derived from based on our local building control regulations. Like for example, the width of the staircase, the absolute minimum for the width of the staircase is actually 1160. Alright, factoring in 40 from the wall, 40 mm from the wall, 40 mm thickness for the handrail, 1 meter clearance for walking through to and fro on the other side, another 40 for handrail, another 40 for handrail clearance from the wall. So if you add up these numbers here, it will become 40 plus 40 plus 1 meter plus 40 plus 40 equals to 1160. Alright, that is the golden number. But the thing is, it's a little bit hard to remember, so we are better off just rounding off to 1.2 meter for them. So therefore 1.2 meter here. Now our highest allowable riser height remains at 175 mm. We are not likely to grow genetically anytime soon. Okay, so we are not likely to grow by another 200 if not 300 mm taller. So therefore the riser height should not change very much. It should remain this. Alright, in fact it will drop given our aging population. It will be harder and harder, so maybe, I don't know, you will revise to dropping a lower one. The actual thread depth is set at 300. It's set at 300. The residential minimum control is 250, but again it becomes very dangerous and very sharp inclination. So therefore 300 will be a more reasonable one. commercial limit is 300. Alright. If you click here, click on edit type, you find that you will now be able to make changes to these numbers, the thread depth as well as the riser height. If you click on calculation rules, you can also begin to change the calculation algorithm, the calculation formula for things. Alright, but we leave this alone for now. You can make these changes here. Okay, now to create is simply this, by clicking on the first point and pulling it. How does, again, staircase creation depends on a couple of things. How does Revit know how high it needs to go? Revit uses the first story or the lower story datum line and the upper story datum line as the absolute reference. Meaning, if you set your levels height to, let's say, 3150, it will divide the 3150 by 175 and give you the amount of risers you are going to need. Alright, that's how it works out. So therefore, we are going to click first point down, and notice down here, each time you create, it gives you a reading of how many being created already and how many is remaining. So in this case, we are going to try for, let's say, having 10, and then we will try having the other remaining 9 complete this way. So once you have done this, you click finish. Click on the tick to finish the creation. We have just created the staircase already. How to see this? Let's go to 3D view and take a look. This is a cutaway view, so you will be able to now see the staircase being created here. You will notice that there is one more extra one that doesn't seem to tie up very nicely with the stair. The nice thing about having Revit is it is very editable. So even though the staircase has been created already, we can still make changes to it. So I'm going to go inside, and by clicking on this button here, edit sketch, we will be able to then change the parameters of the staircase here.
For the newer versions, it is renamed as edit stairs.
We can then click on the run line again, and by reducing one module and extending the other module here, we will then be able to now make it more coincidental with the floor slab design here.
You will notice that in the newer versions, when we click on edit stairs, in order to edit, the stairs will no longer look like a flat isometric view anymore, but instead it will appear more three-dimensional. So in order to edit it in an easier way, we can always go to the second story view, and then from here we can make the necessary adjustments here and all.
Let's go back to the second story plan again now and see how we can make everything line up properly. Okay, at that. If you look down here, we have created the staircase, but it seems that it doesn't really tie up nicely with the existing stair core design in the building space. So we are going to make it line up nicely by going, okay, but prior to making the change, by editing it, we would use the model line function here under architecture, under model line. We can use this to create a few guidelines for us first before making the change. So I'm going to click on model line function and create an absolute center line first this way. And then I will do an offset of 100 so that I can have the core offset points here. Then I will draw another model line here at this point, so I know how to, I'm able to then snap to the absolute center point here. Next, before I do anything else, I will then move the staircase so I can get a centered position here first. And then I will click on Edit Sketch. Once I'm inside the sketch mode here, I can use the Align command here to get the footprint of the staircase design to work nicely and blend in nicely here. Alright, like that. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Align command and select this wall as a reference. But I don't want to select the center line. I want to select the edge of one wall. So I will click on Tab to select the kind of the accurate wall that I want to use. So I'm going to tap to select the inside wall, and then I would align this, select the model line and I will align it, select the other model line, align again, select the other inside wall and align like that. After that, it will fit in quite nicely here. Except right now though, if I do a measurement, the width now of the staircase is about 1.7 meters, but my landing here is only 1.2. So I want to make it more evenly spread out, this landing. So therefore, I'm going to extend this landing here to about 1.75. So I will then select this line here, shift the dimension to this one, to the edge of the riser, and key in 1750, let's say, this way. Once I'm done, divide by 2875. Okay, I will then change this run line in the center to 875 so that it will be aligned to the center nicely. And I will then move the alignment of this line properly and make sure this one is also properly centered here. Once I have completed this, I can click OK, and then the staircase is properly sized up. Then I can begin to remove these model lines away. And then I can take a look at the staircase. Okay, next, this staircase is going to travel from the second story to the third story here, like that. Alright, we want to now create the first story staircase that will go up from ground floor to the second floor. So, if you look under here, there are a set of gray lines here. This is due to us opening up this underlay, setting this plan as an underlay so that we can see second floor what this is. So it gives us a good idea where to anchor the staircase position later on. Alright, So we are going to click on stair by sketch again. So this time round, instead of creating a U-shaped staircase, we are going to create a straight run staircase, a straight stair. So simply we just click first point, second point, and we are done. The next thing is to also then position this staircase at the target location here. And if you notice, if you click on the staircase here, there are options of having the up text, down text. Bear in mind that do not, under the local building code, do not use the down key. Having ups and downs creates confusion. Which one is up, which one is down, okay? And sometimes to the point, the whole thing gets constructed wrongly also. It's a big problem. So by default, staircase only point upwards. That's all. There's never down.
And for the later versions, after version 2015, you will notice that there will be no more graphics portion that will indicate the wording to be up or down. Please take note.
Once we are done, we can go inside and again edit sketch to edit the footprint of the staircase by using the align commands. And when done, click tick and the staircase will be created nicely. You can take a look at this in 3D. Sometimes there is a need for us to change the orientation of the staircase. So if you look at this now, do you see, once you select the staircase, do you now see that there is a little arrowhead there? This arrowhead, once you click on it, will change the orientation of the staircase location. Okay. Notice here now it has flipped to the other side here. Staircase is orientated to the wrong side. So we can fix this by tweaking it backwards again here.